Hi guys, it's Mitch here. Sunday today, so that means it's Tarot and Oracle Review Day. So the deck I'm going to share with you this week is probably one of my most unusual tarot decks. It's probably one of my most weird, wacky and quite random decks. But I think it's a really interesting one to share with you guys. And that is the Starman Tarot. Okay, so it's like a tribute to David Bowie. And this one is designed and made by Davide Angelis. And what's great with this artist is actually he's done artwork for David Bowie himself when David Bowie was alive. And I believe they became quite good friends. They had quite a sort of an interesting journey together, we'll say. So he's a French artist. And this is a really interesting deck. Now, when I saw this, I wanted it instantly because it is unusual. And one thing, you know, regardless if you like David Bowie's music and everything else that he's done, you have to agree that he's a creative, he's an eccentric. He's always followed the sort of energy of his own tune. You know, he's always sort of sung and danced to the rhythm of his own magic. He hasn't necessarily sort of done things by the book, and he certainly has pushed boundaries. He certainly had taboo energy, and I just think that that is awesome. That's amazing, you know, that he has inspired so many people that don't follow the herd. He's definitely somebody that I consider almost a black sheep, but there's a real energy of mystique and magic about him, and he had a star quality that you just can't you can't bottle that. You know that's something that is so unique and so rare. And what's great with this tarot deck is they've almost encompassed all of that energy. Okay, so I'm going to be really excited to share this one with you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy this review. So I don't know where to start really. So the box itself, the box is high end, it's really lovely, it's a matte finish. It's got beautiful artwork all over it, plastered everywhere. Now I will say with this deck, it comes in two sizes. This is the traditional size that you can get, but they also do this in a big size, okay? And it's published by, let me just see what it says here. So it's published by Lo Scarabeo, and that's in Torino, sorry. Let me just put that there so you can see it, hopefully a bit more clearer. Okay, so this is the traditional size. They also do it, and I have seen the bigger version, and it's the size of like a tablet, so it's really quite huge, but this was plenty big enough for what I wanted. So it's a beautiful box. I love all the gold work on this as well that you can see there. Now I will say, as you can probably see from the artwork itself, this is a deck that is it's big, it's loud, it's out there, you know. It's one of those decks that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I think from a collector's point of view, it's something definitely worth having. This is in my collection purely from a collector of tarot. And artwork-wise, I'd give this easily a 10 out of 10. But for practicalities and for everyday use, maybe not. This is a deck that I wouldn't sort of call upon initially to work with. But as we go through this video, you judge and you see for yourself what you think. So as we open up the box, all very nice, or very neatly sort of in its place, you get a really good book. Now, let me just get this book out. Oops, don't want to take the cards, just want the book. So beautiful book, lovely matte finish, really great quality, as you can see there. And then what you've got is about 100 different sort of languages in this book. So you have to find through to the English section, which luckily is at the start. So what you get, as you open up the book, you get a brief introduction on how Starman Tarot came about, how it was designed, how it was produced, how the artist did a lot of work with David Bowie himself. And then you get examples of card spreads, and they've kept the theme throughout, which is really cool. So you've got things here like the lightning flash spread, you've got the Starman spread. Okay, so there's options of spreads you can do and you can try. And then afterwards, it's literally straight into the cards and their meanings. So we'll look at that a little bit more later on. So that's the book in its entirety. Really, really cool. Really love that. And then the cards themselves. Okay. So keeping with the quirky sort of unique theme, they're an interesting size. They're quite big, but they're quite thin. They're quite slender. So it makes them very quirky. Now the back of the cards, these are kind of like a gloss feel. Yeah, they're a gloss finish. Okay. And then this is the back, as you can see there. So it's almost like all this sort of like electricity, or it's almost like, it is like electricity, or almost it's this kind of sort of thing that you'd see inside like a power station. It's that sort of energy. And the cards literally, you know, when I first looked at this deck, I was really overwhelmed, and it was almost like, whoa, it's giving me a headache. It was so intense. It's really, really intense. It's really powerful. So I'm going to show you the cards. I just want to talk about the thickness of the card itself. I'm going to say, guys, beautiful as they are, they're quite thin. They're not the thickest, okay? So if you're somebody that likes quite thick card, like myself, I like a deck that feels quite thick, then you're going to be disappointed in that section. They're not the thinnest, but they're certainly quite flimsy. And if you were using these regularly, if these were like your main deck that you were working with, I think they would become tired quite quick. So that's a little bit of a negative there. The box is beautiful. I can't fault the box, but I wish they had extended that a little bit more. I wish the card was just a little bit thicker, because I think that would have really, really done it a bit more justice. So I'm literally going to show you the cards themselves. I'm going to show you quite a few of these because they are just so busy. So what I do love is you have, and thank God I have to say, because they are so busy, you'd be just forever looking at the stuff otherwise. On the bottom you've got what each card is. So like this one is 3 of Wands. And it took me a while to sort of really adapt my eyes to this. So they're very, very eccentric, they're very loud. Everything that David Bowie was about, you know. They're colourful, larger than life. This one is Sacred Clown. So this one will be a representation for, it will be like, instead of being perhaps like the High Priestess, it will be a representation of that. I'll look in the book later to see. So they've changed some of the wordings of your traditional tarot, which is fine once you understand them. So we got like here, the Princess of Cups. Okay, so then we've got the, from the Major Arcana, we've got the World. And again, beautiful, beautiful imagery, really, really powerful imagery, but really, really busy, really intense. And I just know this is a deck that I wouldn't be able to work with in a full-time manner, because I'd be looking at the cards thinking, oh my God, there's just so much going on here. And it's great that you can take so much from it, but it just, like, looking at them, they just give me a headache, you know. But I can really appreciate the beauty of them as well. So like here we've got the 9 of Pentacles. Oops, make sure you can see that there. And then we've got here Prince of Pentacles. So I think perhaps the princes represent the energies of the King and the Queen, but I'm not 100% sure on that, I'll be honest. 8 of Swords. So I just want to show you a fair few of these so you can see. And that's another thing, you know, I love, and I've said this before in previous videos, I love working with unusual decks, 4 of Cups. And these are just so unusual, but they're almost a bit too quirky even for me, and I'm pretty weird, mind, but these are taking it to the next level. I mean, this is a beautiful image, 8 of Wands. So they've already captured the sort of mystique and the magic, and they feel almost like there's just so much power from these cards. They are lovely in that way. 9 of Wands, but they're a busy deck. But I can really just imagine, and I can really appreciate, you know, David Bowie having pieces, 10 of Wands, having pieces created in his home, and I can just imagine his home probably was quite abstract, quite arty-farty, just really loud and over the top. Princess of Wands. There's a lot of honouring of the feminine energy in here as well. Okay, so then we've got the traditional, the Starman card, and you've actually got the face of David Bowie in this one. So you can really see the power of that. Two of Swords. Oops. So, you know, I definitely would not recommend these as a first deck for tarot, because I think you would be really confused. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, because each card is so different. Like, no two that I've seen are really the same. They're just all so sort of, you know, eccentric, and they're their own energy. Four of Swords, that's nice. Again, we've got the encompassing energy of David Bowie. Five of Swords here. So there's just so much going on. Six of Swords. So they are very, very loud. Like I say, they are lovely, but they're just, whoa, there's just so much. Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. And again, like, you know, I feel like I almost have to show you every card just because they are all so different. Seven of Swords. You know, as I say, no two are the same. This is a really nice one, the Moon. That's really powerful. Really like that one, actually. The Wheel. That's beautiful. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Prince of Cups. So I haven't seen any King and Queen, so I do think that Prince and Princess are the replacements for that. This one's powerful, the Lovers. You know, I love the fact that that's quite an erotic sort of piece there. Four of Wands. I'm kind of intrigued to see what the Magician looks like when we come across him. Five of Wands. I'm just going to show you the whole deck of these, I think. Sod it. I hadn't planned to initially, but I'm going to. Six of Wands. Just because they are just so interesting in a way that, you know, these are like individual pieces of artwork. This must have taken ages. The card of Strength. This must have taken absolutely ages to sort of create and do. Ten of Swords. Oops. Nine of Swords. And again, you can really capture the emotions of each different one, you know. Prince of Wands. And again, we've got the character there of David Bowie. Okay, so this, now one of these could be the Magician, because again, they've changed some of the wording. So this one, we've got the Alien. So I'm going to have to look that up to see what that represents. But probably that would replace, you know, like the Magician or something of that nature. We've got the card of Judgment here. So we're sort of going into some of the major arcana ones now. Seven of Wands. It's a really, really busy deck. Ace of Swords. The Devil. Beautiful artwork. Oh, we have got a Queen. Okay, Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Three of Cups. So I guess the Prince and Princess must replace the Knights in that case, because I have not seen the Knights either so far. Three of Swords. Princess of Swords. Prince of Swords. That's quite powerful. It's almost like The Crow, the film The Crow. Queen of Swords. Oops. King of Swords. But again, you know, looking at these, you just wouldn't necessarily think that that represents what the traditional kind of layouts are, 2 of Cups. But so much colour. I mean, look at the colour and the detail in there. Absolutely beautiful. Oops, 10 of Pentacles. The Chariot. Oops. 5 of Cups. 6 of Cups. That's a beautiful card. 7 of Cups. Literally, I do feel I have to show. Normally I don't show every card, but I just feel I have to. 8 of Cups, because they are all so individual and they're just all so, you know, unique. 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups. The card of Justice. That's powerful, isn't it? We've got the brain and the heart there. It's a very powerful piece. The Temperance. So these are all back into the major arcana. The High Priestess. The Empress. Queen of Cups. The Hanged Man. That's very powerful. The card that everybody fears, Death. I mean, again, look at the detail in there. The Tower. They're worth having just to look through, just to appreciate the artwork. You know, even if you don't like David Bowie, the Star is kind of irrelevant, you know. They are just a very, very quirky, the Sun, unusual piece, you know. 5 of Pentacles. The Emperor. They don't capture the traditional values of the Raider-Waite, as you can see. 8 of Pentacles. They're very, very individual. They sort of do their own thing. The Hierophant, or Hierophant. I never know how to say him. He always trips me up. Princess of Pentacles. She's quite a dark looking figure there. Ace of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. 2 of Wands. And King of Cups. So we didn't get the Magician, so I feel probably the Alien or the Starman, probably the Starman, are the representations for the Magician. So there's a few little tweaks along the way. We didn't have any knights, so I feel like the princesses and the prince are the representations of those. So there's a few tweakings to these, but it is a 78 card deck like your traditional tarot. So yeah, very, very interesting. So from an artistic point of view, absolutely 10 out of 10, can't fault it. But from an everyday practical perspective, if I was wanting quick guidance, for me it's a no. There'd be a 3 or a 4, you know, that they're quite low down because they're just so busy. I'd be sort of there all day trying to understand what it was trying to tell me, you know. But I'm going to pick a card for us for the day, guys, and then I'm going to refer to the book so we can get an understanding of what it suggests. And let's give these a good shuffle. Now, because they are sort of tall and slender, they do shuffle really nicely, I have to say. So that's a bonus. So I'm asking for a card for the highest of good for us for this Sunday. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Cups, if you can see that there. Beautiful, beautiful card. So I'm going to find that one in here and read you what they have it down for. bear with me. 9 of Cups. Let's have a little look. Got the Wands. It's all nicely put in its layers so you can see. So that's really cool. I've gone past the Cups, obviously. 9 of Cups. Where are you? You've got Wands, Swords, Pentacles. I'm not seeing the... I'm not finding the Cups. I'm seeing everything else. Don't tell me they've not got the Cups in here. Oh, here we are, Cups. Oh, had me panicking then. Right, 9 of Cups. Here we go. So you get like a little mantra next to it. I don't know if you can see that there. You probably can't see that too well. But you get like a sort of little mantra in bold, and then you get the actual sort of wording. So it just says here, I am lavished by the good things in life. That's the mantra. And then the little reading just says, the experience of attracting good fortune wherever you go, expecting and receiving the best. Life lived as a celebration, free of guilt and regret. I quite like that. Now, had this card come out reversed and upside down, if you choose to read tarot that way, some people do, some people don't. It's good that they give a reversed. It would have been overindulgence, lack of understanding and empathy with people's everyday concerns, and inability to face challenges and evolve. I quite like that as well. So the messages are actually quite good. I like the fact that, you know, I wouldn't have necessarily got all of the information of that just by looking at the artwork on this, I'll be honest. But the book does give quite a nice, clear, precise piece. So I quite like that. So I always take it as a positive. So again, just to recap, the experience of attracting good fortune wherever you go, expecting and receiving the best. Life lived as a celebration, free of guilt and regret. I think that's quite a nice message. So that's really, guys, the David Bowie Tarot Starman deck in its entirety. So there's not much more I can show or tell you, I don't feel. So it is a great deck, but like I say, for me, it's from a collector's point of view. I had to have it. It was a deck I would never work with. You will never see me using this at a psychic fair. And if someone said, oh, can you read with this for the day? I must admit, looking at these, I'd be like, oh, I don't really know. I know I would struggle. But I can really appreciate the beauty of the artwork. So they're great for the avid tarot collector just wanting to have these in the collection. If you're a David Bowie fan, then these are a must. So they do have a lot of positives, but there are a few negatives with this deck. But yeah, that's the Starman Tarot. So I'm going to leave you with the energy of that. And, oops, let me just try and put these back in the box. Okay. So, but it is a beautiful deck. Okay. So, stay tuned, guys, next week for more videos. And I'll be reviewing more tarot and oracle decks in the near future. Stay safe and well. Much love and blessings. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.